First Samuel chapter 13, we're looking at verse 14. First Samuel chapter 13, verse 14. But now thy kingdom shall not continue. There are people that erroneously teach that the grace of God is there forever. That if you become a child of God, you have a conversion experience, a converted heart. Once a child of God, you'll always be a child of God. That theory is faulty, because after all, we were children of the devil. Because Jesus said, "Ye of your father, the devil." All people were children of the devil. If we say once a son, always a son forever, there'll be no conversion, because once a child of the devil, always a child of the devil. So that kind of theory does not work spiritually. And these people say, you're born again, you have the grace of God forever and forever, you are eternally secured. Well, from the story of Saul, we know that he did not continue in the Lord. And yet, there was a time he was converted. There was a time he had another heart. There was a time he was lowly, meek, and humble. There was a time he actually prophesied by the Spirit of God. But now it says that kingdom shall not continue. The Lord has sought him a man after his own heart, and the Lord has commanded him to be captain over his people, because thou hast not kept that which the Lord commanded thee. Not because God could not keep him. God can keep anyone, everyone. But because thou hast not kept what the Lord has commanded you. It happened to another person. Acts chapter 1, reading from verse 25. Acts 1 verse 25, that's another person now that will replace this fellow, that he may take part of this ministry and apostleship, from which Judas by transgression fell. Judas by transgression fell. Judas, he was a disciple of the Lord Jesus Christ, and Jesus prayed all through the night. Luke chapter 6 verse 12, before he chose them. And he chose him along with the other people, and of the 12 he gave them power, authority to cast out devils. He gave them power to go preach the gospel, heal the sick, raise the dead. Freely you have received, and freely give. Judas was one of them. When they came back to report that they had overcome every devil, they had healed all the sicknesses, they had preached the gospel, Judas was not exempted. He also had that same power, that same authority. But eventually, because of the love of money, he sold the Lord, his master, and Judas fell by transgression. They tell us, those kind of theologians, they say he was never there. Don't say that, don't accept that. He fell. You cannot fall from a position you did not have. He was part of this ministry, and he had the apostleship, and the Lord will not give a sinner the apostleship of the ministry. He was in the Lord, but he fell by transgression, the decline and the downfall from an exalted ministry.